Okay, I guess we're recording. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. All of the trigger warnings here, always, for every video, no matter how innocent it may seem. We go deep here, okay? Always with the intention to help heal and bring clarity and truth in situations where you might not know all of the angles, okay? That said, we're going to light this little incense right here with our intention set to trust one another, to receive each other's information. So you are accepting that you're going to send to me whatever it is that you need resolutions with, and I am going to open up to send to you whatever signs and synchronicities you need to receive so that you can get that clarity that you're seeking, okay? And then when our reading is done, when this burns out, that's it. Cords are cut, ties are cut, you know, like that's it. That's the end of our contract together, okay? All right, everyone who consents is now still watching the video. So we're going to continue on from here, and we're going to light this. And I want to see just today, kind of tap in to see where you guys are all at, see how you're feeling, all right? And no, I didn't sit and do a meditation or anything before. This is a cold read. That means that I just jump right into the energy without previously meditating on it, okay? Make a wish. There's a stillness within the collective, but yet there's a slight stirring in the solar plexus area, right? No, this would be sacral, wouldn't it? Solar plexus would be a little higher. It's just my boobs sit a little lower, so you can't really see where, that's why I usually diagram, ding, would be perfect, right? It's basically the area. Let me dig in to see where I'm really feeling this at so I can tell you. I'll try to give you like measurements, okay? So this is, yeah, I was right. Solar plexus. It's right above that belly button. But it's deep in there. So this could be at like a junction that connects the solar plexus and the sacral. Okay. So the solar plexus is the energy distribution center of the body. So if I'm feeling something there, and it's connecting deeper, it's sending signals deeper. So it's going to sacral and root, possibly even earth star chakra for some of you. If you don't know about the chakras, maybe look that up. Maybe it's time to learn something new, right? There are a lot of cool videos that are, you know, like I call them quick and dirty. They get straight to the point. No beating around the bush. No telling you 20 different things you don't need to know about. They just get to the point and tell you what needs to be said. Now that said, maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe, it's almost like you want to know, like you want to be able to know for sure that you can trust the people that you trust. No matter what level you're trusting them at, right? Basic acquaintance, coworker, lover, family member of some sort, right? These are like soul ties. There you go. Soul ties. Soul ties is real. Funny show. Very, woof. Anyways. So this is basically you're wanting to know where people stand. And for some reason that's blocking you from your own power. That doesn't matter. Other people's intentions don't matter to you. Actions, okay? Watch the actions and align it with the words that have been said, okay? From the two, from analysis of the two, from your own point of view, you will be able to determine whether or not you believe that the person was coming from a place of sincerity or a place of bullshit. And this is in any type of interaction, okay? This could be, again, coworker, acquaintance, someone you just met and you're having a random conversation. You know, we always get feelings from people. Even if what we think about is, man, that person was weird. Well, why were they weird? What does weird really mean? Are you a magician? Like, you create things seemingly from nothing. I feel like things just randomly happen to you. And when they're good, they're great, but when they're bad, they really suck. Like, that's the con to that, right? Like, this is why it's important to just really continuously throughout your life, the more you're blessed or the more you're cursed, regardless, try to find that balance. Try to find the silver lining, the blessing, right? If you're trapped in a room, you know, you can see where the wind is blowing if there's smoke in the room, right? So if it's cold and you can watch it and see if it blows anywhere. Yes, because that would mean there's a flow in the room, which means there is an exit and it's in this direction or that direction or whichever, right? This is kind of like when you're fighting when you're swimming, like I'm seeing somebody swimming, okay? And they're fighting to save their life. But if they would just stop and try to stay afloat and catch their breath, get their bearings, it's almost like they could de-escalate all of the alarms going off within themselves to be able to gain control in a situation. And what does gaining control in a situation mean? It doesn't mean that you're manipulating people, okay? And if it does, oh, buddy, congratulations on the karma you'll receive from that. Would not want to be you. Just learn to pray and learn to have faith. That's all I can say. Okay. You could be at this time struggling with the decisions that you make to on changes that you're ushering forth, right? It's like you're I'm seeing Dumbledore in the little pool of memories, right? So like the Akashic record, the books of life, which, you know, go look it up if it calls to you, honey. We got a message to deliver. So we're looking into those waters, right? The primordial waters of creation. And we're bringing forth by our sheer force of will, guided by our pure intentions, we are bringing forth these things, right? That's why everybody says it's so important to make sure you know where you're coming from when you're making decisions, and to not make decisions when you're mad or sad or overwhelmed, because then where are you truly coming from? This smoke is a little aggressive. Somebody might not like what you have to say, okay? And just please know that that's okay. We don't have to like what people say to us. So it could also be that. It could be that somebody's going to say something to you that you're not going to like, okay? I know it can hurt. I know it can anger. I know it can frustrate. I know it can lead to disassociating from connections, okay? I understand that. But you have to figure out at which point, it became a choice by you, because if it's still happening and you know about it, it's because you're somehow allowing it or wanting it. So maybe there's something you need to admit to yourself that you do want in your life. You want more of this, or you want some of this in your life. What do you want? Don't feel bad for wanting. Do not feel bad for wanting, okay? The temple is sacred and requires sometimes adornment, other times not, right? What is it in you that is being pulled forth from the primordial waters of who you are? What do you truly want to create out of nothing? What would you like to create? What would your dream life be like? Allow yourself to dream that dream. I'm kidding. Dream a little dream of me. So even if it's love, allow yourself to dream of love, but don't stick any one person to it. And don't stick any group of people to it, right? Maybe you're like, well, I have this type and da-da-da. Okay, but maybe there's another type that was more your type that you never really admitted to yourself was your type for whatever reason. But it turns out that that's actually your type, and that's why you knew that that was your type in the first place, but somehow you forgot it because of everything else that has happened since, right? So acknowledge that love coming into your life could look completely different than what you expect it to. You might think that the qualities you've been selecting equate to a partner, like a life partner, romantic, but deep down, all of the purest intentions that you've actually been sending out into the universe to be collected and amplified and fortified and blessed and sent back to you to amplify, to give you the permission to create, could look like a best friend or a parental figure or a familial figure, right? Could be a pet, could be a sister, cousin, right? It is some sort of dream connection that your soul needs at this time to continue forward on its journey. And it might not look like what you think. Just know that whatever you most need will always be presented to you. That's where we have to have faith, because sometimes what we truly most want, the purest resonance within us, will lead us down a completely different path. Faith is all I can say. You've got to have faith. George Michael. Love him. Oh my God, what a beautiful man. The little butt shake, right? Gotta have faith. I'm gonna definitely pin that one. Wow. My inner child is going crazy right now, you guys. That was 1980 something, so I was a little. I had no clue what the song was about. I was just crazy dancing every time it came on. Oh, how embarrassing. And of course the adults always laughed. So maybe you resonate with that. Maybe you resonate with realizing like you can always seem to make people laugh, but at the same time, like you always piss people off. Again, these are high highs and low lows. So, okay, everything happens for a reason, right? Those of you who are subscribers or loyal watchers that just haven't subscribed yet, you know that I always shuffle and I always set my intention when I'm shuffling for that the next time I pull it out, it will have the card. If you're new here, that's what I do, which is why I trust what I see, okay? Sacred Divinity, there are two paths ahead, so there's a choice coming up for you. Look at all the solar plexus and sacral chakra, and even that little tinge. Remember I said it feels like root, like it may even be pulling down to the root and the earth star chakra. Now look at that. Look at those colors. Look at the beautiful synchronicity right right in your face for you to listen, okay? This is a message coming with love from the universe, from God, from whatever you pray to, whatever this is for you, right? The hive mind. Some of you may resonate with that term, the hive mind, right? Because in an ideal world, humans would have 100% use of their brain capacity and access to all of their DNA and would be able to communicate without the need of words. We could only do sounds. We would all be musical instruments. The choice you have to make is what direction you want to go in. Didn't I say what do you want to create? Oh, this makes me want to cry. We're going to do shadow work together. Our contract's going, so I have to have faith, okay? This would normally, number one, this would be a video I would delete. It would never see the light of day. But now I have learned that when these really intense emotions come up, it comes up because there's some sort of connection there. And maybe it's just so that it can bring up a memory tied to a connection that's not like direct. So it's not like directly connected, right? But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I went through a period where I struggled with my faith, and so maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you're struggling to believe right now. And it could be that maybe you're struggling to believe in what God is telling you. Right? It could be that you're struggling to believe that God is even real. You could be feeling like you're in a void right now, right? Floating, like there aren't even stars, almost like what you would imagine would be like inside of a black hole, right? Where there's just nothingness. And I know that this is heavy, and I know that it will take you to a dark place, but I want you to know that you're not alone. I have been there. You saw the emotion come up. And yeah, I have really good control over my emotions. One thing I have never been given credit for, given the things that I have gone through, because every time I tell someone I'll be damned if they don't go like, oh my God, how are you still alive? Well, I'm a survivor. That's how it works. You make a choice to either have faith or continue to spiral endlessly into a fractal away from source. You can choose to burst slowly in spirals back towards that, or you can spiral infinitely away. The choice is always yours, right? And let's be honest, when you start to lose faith, you start to associate with things that you never thought you would. Because again, many choices are being brought up. Do you give up? Do you lose faith? Do you quench the fire inside you and just let it just be smoke? Right? The choice is always within you as to how long you want to stay in what you feel. Okay, that's how you get control over the emotions, like I just did, how even intense that is. And I know I have a lot of work there, trust me, because when you get to that point, all sorts of other wounds can be created that then keep you there. So it's not necessarily that these wounds came before this one. It just means that everything is so blurred together at this point, because it's been happening for so long, that they're all tied together. Which is why, just like the turtles flow with the currents, that's how they travel. Oh my goodness, do you see the light resonating from this card? Even when I try to put it in the shadow, it's like no, it must be seen in the light. So look at that. Do you see the glow around that turtle, that golden glow? I don't think you realize this right now, but you have a golden glow around you. You are in a state of, quantum healing is the best, it feels right, like quantum healing. I don't even know exactly what that means, but it feels really, really like significant and like almost seemingly impossible, right? So, yeah. It takes you to these dark places because you need to learn what you need to protect yourself from, right? Before you do your shadow work, always say a prayer. Whenever you go to start thinking about the bad things that have happened to you, always say a prayer, do a little ritual, light a candle, you know, whatever you feel called to do for yourself. Just you. You could just feel called to go sit outside in the middle of the woods where, you know, there's nobody. Whatever you're called to do, right? For some of you, it could even be, and I know this might sound crazy, but for some of you, mind-numbing TV watching, like where you're just literally, the TV's on, but you're all up in here because you're processing so much. And it's like, you're still, thank you. The movie Click could resonate with somebody here. It's like you see things happening, but it's almost like you feel like life is flashing before your eyes at times. Yeah, that's one of those root or sacral wounds, and they're pretty heavy. I felt it coming down, and when it landed, it was like, you know, if you've ever seen a video of an underwater, like when something gets placed on the ocean floor, right? And it goes from being super clear where you can see everything and all that sand and stuff comes up, it's like, and then you can't see anything for a while. That's what that felt like. So maybe that resonates for you. I think you need to give yourself a little more credit with what you've created or what you are creating. Don't just look at the bad. Don't just criticize yourself. Remember, you need to also encourage yourself and nurture. Thank you. That's a good word. Nurture yourself. What does it mean to nurture yourself? I had to learn this, okay? I was never taught this. I was actually taught that nurturing yourself was a selfish thing to do. All right? But it's not. And here's why. When you nurture yourself and you get whatever you were seeking, in that moment of receiving, you gain clarity on exactly why it is that you wanted whatever it was, right? Maybe it was to say something, to do something, to whatever, fill in your blank. Because I feel like there's going to be many different ways, and you're going to start noticing this now. And as I say that, seeing the beauty in life, I was going to say, look how, the light. Do you see that this is not when I normally do my readings, but everything happens for a reason. The sun is actually coming through, and I can't close it because, guys, we're going to have to deal with this light because I got plant babies in my window here right now that I am trying to keep alive. I've never been able to maintain anything alive. And these tomato babies, God bless them, because they literally have survived me for almost a whole year. Right? They're my new toddlers now. So they're talking back. I got some brown leaves and stuff, you know, like, oh man, I didn't do this enough or that enough. I know I need to get a light. So light's being shown on things, and it's showing you where you're deserving a pat on the back and where you're needing a little nudge, right? To actually do something, to actually make that change, or to actually, confess outwardly whatever is flowing internally, right? So faith is just very important. Faith is again, it's coming up as being that bottom line. Dark night of the soul. Yes, yes, you are currently in the trenches, deep in those primordial waters, and the primordial waters are crystal clear, but they appear to be dark, like a black mirror, right? Still unmoving, but yet you cannot see squat, right? You just have to have faith. And then I can't explain this. Like I'm seeing someone deep in the abyss and there's a glow of light around them, and that's it. So it's almost like they're swimming through the energies at a cellular level, and this is how they've been able to gain that descent. And they know they're safe because of all of the, I'm seeing like a scientist and like trial and error, hypothesis again, refreshing the hypothesis, starting over, creating another experiment, following it through, writing up your conclusion, and then going from there. And again, with your hypothesis, if you need to change it or if you want to experiment more on something, do you see how complex and intricate it is? Much like, do you see the tree, how the branches look like? And there we go, right there. And that's what cells look like as well, and veins in our body. Look up, I feel like this could be inspirational for you in some way, but look up photographs or even artwork I'm getting of integrations of man, like human, and earth. And the synchronicities in the different parts of the temple, along with things in nature like grapes, tomatoes, definitely all of the foods, the plants, the foods. There's something important about that. Maybe it's something about your nutrition. You could need to do a detox. But this dark night of a soul, do you see how even the ones that aren't fully illuminated, they have still parts of them where there's the golden glow, right? It's almost, so maybe picture a golden glow around you, like a nice warm but not hot, right? So like this would be like the warm sun as you feel it on a cool winter's day, and you just feel it touching your skin and you feel its warmth, and it's almost like it ceases to feel cold outside, you know, and it just suddenly feels perfect. Well, imagine that as like a glow around you, okay? Imagine that as like a glow around you. And then again, imagine what path you want to choose. Kundalini rising. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Some call it ascension, some call it rebirth. Okay? Ignite your passion for life. Really look at what you want and why you want it. And then when you receive it, ask yourself, is this really why I wanted this? Or no, ask yourself, why was it that I really wanted this? So that you can get the answer to that. Let's just be direct with the questions. So anything you want to know at this time in your prayers and your rituals, be very direct with what you want to say, okay? Oh, but again, there's something about being careful with your words, right? Don't let the hurt or the hate speak. Let the love and hurt, if necessary, Let those speak. You could have been told as a child that, like, maybe you grew up in a family where this was like most of us though for generations. It's only now that we have like this blend of stuff. Because let's be honest, in decades past and centuries past, that sounds better, centuries past, there was a lot of acceptable toxicity in families by society, which should never have been allowed, because everyone is entitled to an equal, like a minimal in life. Do you understand? Like, I don't know how to explain this, because to me the concept is so foreign. I feel that every single one of you deserves the world, so long as you come from a place of love with pure intentions to help heal the world, to help heal those who hate you, to help heal those who have hurt you most. As long as you're coming from those places, yeah, absolutely. I want you to have everything that you want. And if that's not where you're coming from, I hope you get the truth. With love and light, act with care. Choose your choices carefully. Know that we are all connected through the sacred tree of life. And what is that? That is that energy. That energy that extends outward. But even those trees, have you ever seen how an oak grows? Those branches will fall off all on their own, whole sections of them. And the tree is healthier for it. Balance will be restored. Soul fragments, number 33, a number of the ascended masters as well. And if that resonates, you should definitely look into it. Oh my gosh. As I say that, ascended masters, right behind that, be open to communication. Listen, okay, especially for those of you who are raised Christian, just because I was as well, don't think that it's impossible or sinful for you to think that you could possibly talk to Jesus or talk to God. That's like saying it's impossible for you to talk to your mom or dad. You might think so at a certain age, but then at another age you realize, I'm going to say whatever I feel like I need to say from this point on. You know? Maybe that's the point you're getting to now. Yes, hidden realm. So create a conscious awareness of where your intentions are coming from, because you see all this gold here, the yellow, like solar plexus. Where are you distributing? Where are you pulling that power from? Because wherever you're pulling from, you're sending that out, and it's going to come back to you amplified. Because even if you send out hate, if you send out anger, if you send that out, I understand that sometimes there's a release, but if you're just sending it out like all the time just because, it's going to continue to come back to you. So before you send out any negative energies, ask yourself, am I really like having this release necessary? Or am I just misdirecting the energy and maybe I need to use this for something different? Let me think about that for a minute and think, how really do I want to express this outwardly? And then allow yourself to just be given an answer, right? And then if you like that, express the fact that you like that, and express gratitude for knowing, for having received the message. Because no matter how small the detail, every little thing you learn about yourself is going to help you heal. It's going to help you grow, so long as you're actually doing the work, okay? And you might not feel like that right now, again, because we do have Dark Night of the Soul here. And let me tell you, Dark Night of the Soul is basically the equivalent of losing faith. I just got choosing my religion. That's the REM, right? No, I said too much. I haven't said enough. Wow, okay. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. So you could have grown up very isolated, okay? But that's made you more powerful. It's almost like you've had the world mapped out from a young age. And you're actually ascending to a higher level because we have astral travel, caution needed. So you could be, it's like you're pulling forth something from those waters that we talked about earlier, the primordial waters, like you're pulling forth something that is unexpected, so go slow with it. It's like fishermen you don't always just yank in to pull a fish, right? So, matter of fact, I don't think you ever do that. Don't you have to, like, I don't know a lot about fishing. I never got to learn. My uncles would have taught me, but then we left Puerto Rico and I didn't get to learn and I had to miss everybody. So maybe you were torn from your family at a young age for whatever reason. Parents could have divorced, or you know, a death could have happened in the family. My condolences if that is why. Or some sort of something major happens, right, for a move. And for some of you, if you're like a kid when that happens, well then some of that big thing that could happen could literally be that a parent just felt like it. Literally, sometimes crazy stuff that happens to us is literally just because somebody else felt like doing something, just because they felt like doing it. Or at least that's what they told you. But I think deep down, you know, it was something else. This person could be in your dreams, so be very careful with that. Make sure you ward yourself, you protect yourself before going to sleep. Google it. There's different ways. If you believe in crystals, there's different crystals. If you believe in herbs, there are different herbs. For protection and all that stuff. You can get yourself a dream catcher. So you could be drawn to more shamanistic ways, more earthy connections. Listen, I know it's a trend right now, and I really hate trendy things. It's not just the Aquarius in my chart. It's the fact that it's synthetic, okay? I know it's really trendy right now, but you need to know everything about whatever you're going to do before you do it. Whether that's combo, whether that's ayahuasca, whether that's hape or rape, they call it different things, which is sacred snuff, cacao ceremonies. Before doing any of that stuff, I know there are a lot of people out there getting away right now with being fakes and just dishing this stuff out to people just because they know it'll make them a quick buck, okay? But this is why it's so important to really research it, okay? Really research it. Speak to multiple people who have experienced it. See if these people feel like people that you can trust. There is sacredness in everything on this planet. And you do not want to meddle with that. Sacred reverence is key whenever connecting anything to the temple. Okay? What you eat, what you drink, what you smoke, what you smell, right? So, literally, I think of experience life one day through what you smell. Everywhere you go, sniff and actually smell. Smell to smell, right? I feel like a lot of people have like ignored their sense of smell for a really long time, which is why we have so many synthetic fragrances and stuff now, because what should have never existed because it was just a quick fix that was never fully studied has become something now that's overwhelmingly used. But again, balance will be restored. Soul fragments. So there are things in your life that you know just don't feel right to you. They don't feel right to you. And it doesn't matter. Let me tell you right now, it does not matter what others around you think or how they perceive your experience. What matters is that you gain the clarity that you seek so that you can continue on. Right? Because anybody who has a problem with you going on your path and making the decisions you need to make truly is not allowing you to just grow. Everyone has different lessons to learn, and we're not here to, we're supposed to be here not to judge, right? Judge not lest ye be judged. Again, like I said, if that resonates with you, something like that, like doing things for control and whatnot, all that stuff like that, to manipulate or to try to make other people look bad, to make yourself look better, dude, like, good luck. Good luck, because the karma that comes from that, as someone who's experienced these things before, yeah, I wouldn't wish that on you. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That's why I literally will pray for everyone. Even the people who have hurt me and wronged me the most, I pray for them. And there are going to be wounds you are going to continue to deal with, possibly for the rest of your life, okay? That's why it's so important to speak your truth. Because if you're always speaking the truth, if you're always expressing yourself to those that you are connecting with, you will not have regrets 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. Because you will know that you always said what was your truth. And it is okay for your truth to change as you grow and evolve as a human. As you continue to make decisions on your path. Okay? So maybe you're releasing judgment, whether that's judgment of yourself or judgment by others. Because when we're allowing judgment by others to affect us, it is because we are definitely doing so ourselves. Because if we're not doing so ourselves, we definitely won't allow somebody else to do it. We will speak our truth. And that may bring us across as aggressive to some or annoying to others, but it's just because we did not allow them to disrespect a boundary that we had set as what is our truth. I accept your truth. I acknowledge it. This is my truth. You need to acknowledge it and accept it as well. And I don't care if that sends us in complete opposite directions, and you shouldn't care either. I've never understood why people care so much about certain things. You need to do a cord cutting. Get yourself 2 white candles. Okay, get some twine. You can use olive oil to anoint them, or coconut oil, whatever oil you have. Just please do not use the synthetic crap. Don't use that vegetable oil crap. Don't use none of that fake crap. You got to use something that is organic, okay? It doesn't have to be organic as long as it is plant driven, okay? I understand some of us cannot afford the stuff that is not processed and all that. Some of us cannot afford organic. I totally understand that. If you know somebody that has some, a family member or whatever, just ask them if you can just borrow, you know, just a little bit. Say it's, you can lie. You can say it's for a fucking recipe, dude, you know, and just say, I don't feel like going and buying a whole bottle for it just in case I don't like it, right? So borrow some of it from them, and it's, or just tell them the truth. You shouldn't be afraid to say, just tell them you're trying to make a blessing oil, right? Well, what's a blessing oil? It's something that I created with the magic given to me by the power vested in me, right? To set an intention onto something, to make anyone who comes with this specific intention that is set on the candle, it will amplify that for them. And it will lend that purity of intention to whatever they're looking to achieve, right? In this case, it's a cord cutting. What is a cord cutting? It means like permanently, like burning a bridge energetically. with another soul tie. It doesn't matter who that is. I don't care what anyone tells you. You can cut any tie whatsoever except that of the Most High. I don't care if people say you can't cut a cord with a twin flame, blah, blah. Yes, you can. You have free will. The only one we can't remove from is a source of origin. So even when we're spiraling out of control, when we're fractalizing out away from the whole, deep down inside, we will know. We will know where we're headed and why we're headed there. Because we're always being guided and directed, always, every moment of every day. It's free will. So you literally, every second of every day, have to make a choice to go towards source, towards the light, towards the positive, towards just releasing. You might not feel it's possible to just let something go because you were so wronged and you feel like you need this, that, or the other. But I guarantee you, if you truly pray from deep within from your soul, directly from your soul, if you put all that intention in to really be able to release these things without a resolution, just to be able to just release them, and then have faith that it's actually going to happen because it's what you know it's the only choice you have. And what is it? It's like that Jesus take the wheel moment, right? You know, like where you have to rest assured that the intention you set during the prayer that you did for the ritual, right, to spell this into creation, you have to have faith that however that plays out is directly attached to whatever your intentions really were. Focus on a solution and potential growth, birth of creation, right? So maybe you don't know what that looks like yet, but imagine what it would feel like to not have this stress, that stress, this frustration, that frustration, this annoyance, that annoyance, this doubt, that doubt, you know, whatever it is for you, this anger, that hatred. Imagine how you would feel if you didn't have that. If you no longer felt triggered by the things that trigger you. Imagine how that would feel, how freeing that would be. And then focus on a solution from that energy as often as possible, right? Because the moment you start to think that things could happen, you start getting, you start fractalizing, right? When you fractalize, come back within, come back to the primordial waters and allow anything to be possible, right? And if all you can think of is all the bad things and you can't really see the good ones, just imagine that golden light. Just imagine that golden light and know that if you just move in that direction, things will be made clear for you. Seeing the angler fish, you know, how they put that little light thing out, they like illuminate this little ball thing. Some of them do, the ones in the depths, right? Then there are other ones that just move it around because it looks like a worm. But I'm specifically seeing the one down in the depths that you can't see, and it's bioluminescent, so it glows. And that draws in the fish in the area, right? When the anglerfish is doing that, they're taking a risk that it's going to draw in a bigger fish than them, right? Because it's kind of like giving away their position. But at the same time, it's the only way they can get food. So they do it anyways, right? Then the littler fish or whatever, the fish that the anglerfish enjoys, are called towards that light, like a moth to a flame, right? And they know what it could mean. It's encoded in their DNA, so they know, which is why they're as fast and agile as they are, because if you look at the statistics, like these fish don't always catch the prey, right? The anglerfish doesn't always catch the other fish. Sometimes it draws in the wrong type of fish, right? So you never know. It's almost like a need for acceptance of the circle of life. I said light, but it's circle of life, right? And, oh gosh. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be forming a better relationship with yourself, a stronger connection within. So if you are someone who's been spiraling out into a fractal, this is you coming back. Okay, maybe this message is what you need to hear, because maybe this is confirmation for you that you're coming back to center, and that now all things truly are possible. Okay, and just hold on. Light codes, travel awaits you, and we also have astral travel, caution needed. Okay, so somebody here needs to look into astral travel, lucid dreaming. What is that, Claire? Remote viewing I'm getting for somebody as well. Yeah, I feel like that may be something that resonates with you. You could be releasing fear of judgment, right? Maybe you are okay with being who you are in your own home, but when you get out into the world, there's all this extra judgment thrust upon you by all of those in glass houses. And this could be what you're releasing. This could be what is being cleared from your waters at this time. But it's going to require that faith, because we have here divine will, let go of fear. So what are you afraid of right now? What are you afraid of? Clear and activate. Create sacred space. So whatever sacred space means to you, you need to create that. Okay? If it means that you need, I don't know, maybe you need to walk out of a business meeting and put the entire meeting on hold. I feel like if this is you, I feel like you are, I'm seeing like Emperor and Six of Wands. So you're someone of importance to whatever this meeting is. But you're going for, there's in some way, shape, or form, you're leaving out to compose yourself. Ooh. And we got lead the way, light your own path with the buck, which is, it's a symbol of leadership. And that could be a spirit animal for someone. Also sea turtle, the death moth, eagle, hawk, phoenix, horse, hummingbird, and lion. I mean, that basically covers all of us, though. Oh, and we do have the little, we have like, it looks like a duck and a crow. Yeah, a duck and a crow on this one. And there's a peacock wing or feather, but it's all red and orange and yellow. I don't know if you can see it. It's that circle there, the little circle right there. And I'm getting goldfish, jellyfish. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. You need to either ask for signs to be given to you, or say specifically, show me this whenever it's you. You know, you don't even need to vocalize it out. You just pray it quietly to yourself. Show me this when it is you. And then pay attention for that symbol out in the world whenever you get messages from, like if this is learning to identify, like if it's an angel or a passed on loved one, you ask that specific energy when it connects to you, okay, I need you to give me this sign or this sign, right? Like you tell them how you want them to let you know that it's them, okay? And then you start asking them about what the truth is about them. And you'll see like their sign along with something else. Another message will come up, right? Okay? All right, guys. I hope that helps. You are deep in the trenches of shadow work at this time, but I feel the light that glows within you, and I know you're going to be just fine. I know that maybe you just need some assurance. So I'm going to pray before this finishes burning out. I'm going to pray that you receive the assurance that you need to know that you are divinely guided and on the right path, that you can let go and surrender and trust at this time. Okay? And say, I accept, if you would like to receive that help and healing and clarity and release. Okay? I just dropped ash all over my table. I need a better method for this. Maybe a plate to set this on. Because I do not want to be cleaning up the stuff every single day. Multiple times a day. Allow yourself to just be. Even if that's right now. We don't need to talk. Let's just watch this burn out together, okay? I feel like you just need a break. So take that break with me now. Use me as your excuse. No one needs to know that you're just listening to silence. And that's our time, guys. I hope this helped. I hope you found it healing, insightful, right? Even if you found me to be a complete wacko, that's okay. It's still guiding on you on your path, all right? I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next